Take 10. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, to my returning subscribers. Big up yourself. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, welcome to the fold. I hope you like the video and I hope that you choose to subscribe at the end. As always, I hope that this information will prove useful to you in some way. And we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so don't forget to like, comment and share it with someone that you think will find the information helpful. So we're gonna do a long introduction today, so let's just jump right into the video. For those of you who don't know me, a little bit of a backstory. My name is Shandean. I'm a family woman. I'm a strategic communicator at my big girl job during the daytime, and I'm also a blogger turned vlogger. I also moved from Jamaica to Canada, particularly in Saskatchewan with my family. A bit of a, jagged story there, but if you want to know the full story, you can check out either my blog or my previous videos. So today we're going to be talking about the cost of living in Regina, Saskatchewan. The last video I did for you was 2 years ago. I can't believe it's been 2 years already, but here we are. Anyway, that video felt a little bit like it was outdated. Also, when I did that video, I was the only one here. My family hadn't moved to the country yet, and so I figured it would be useful to update those numbers for you to kind of give you an idea of where things stand today, and that would pretty much also give you an idea of the shift that happened within the last 2 years. So not too long an introduction, let's get right. So the big R on the list, let's start there. Rent. I currently rent a 2-bedroom 1-bathroom apartment. It comes with a single parking, and there are amenities like a clubhouse for hanging around. There's a pool, there's a gym. So when I moved in here, my rent was $1,500. Actually, it was $1,525 to be specific, but $1,500. And currently that has gone up a little bit for me, not as high as market value, but rent has increased. And so if you were a new tenant coming in to get the same type of apartment, you'll be looking at around $1,700. Let's also talk about the power. Last time I told you that I was the only one here and my power bill was sitting somewhere around the $40 mark. My family has been here for about 1.5 years, and sometimes we have guests. So currently, whether it is 3 people or 4 people or like 5 people at my house, my bill has still not reached $100. There was this one time where I got a $100 estimate bill, and I called and I talked to them, and they were kind of like, well, $100 is not all that much. And I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the point. It's estimated, and it was like double what I was paying at the time. Anyway, they gave me a little bit of attitude, which I did not appreciate. So I asked them, what could I do to make sure that I don't get an estimated bill in the future, because one girl come from Jamaica, we know about JBs and anyway, so that is what I wanted to do. So I asked them, how do I avoid an estimated bill in the future? Basically, they said I would have to be submitting a reading every month, because they weren't coming to read it every month. I'm like, okay, fine. So every single month I make sure I put in an order for a reading so that I can send it to them. Those send me an estimated bill. Ever since that, and no, I still have not gotten a $100 bill again. So that tells me everything I need to know. Of course, we're very conservative. I don't run my AC 24/7, even though when it's in the summertime. It's pretty cool, like even on the hot days, because the thing that I have found living in an apartment is that it's when outside cold, inside tend to be a little bit warmer. It's when outside hot, inside tend to be a little bit cooler. I don't know how to explain it. It might be the insulation or something like that, but I find that it's perfectly okay for me to turn on the AC when I need it and off when I don't. I also have fans in my bedroom, so I don't sleep with the AC on. Anyway, I don't know if that's gonna be helpful to you or not, but our power bill typically lands somewhere between $70 and $90. It just depends. Cable and internet. I have a cable plan. I do not know how much gigs it is, or I don't know, but I do know that the cable portion of it is like $10, and it's just a couple of news channels, and then the rest of it is internet, and I pay $115 a month. They did raise it like $1 or something like that. In the last couple of months they did raise it by like $1. So that's what we pay for the internet, and honestly I could do without the cable, to be honest, because the news stations that I do watch, they have apps. The app is on the TV, you know what I'm saying, and chances are if the power goes out, I'm not watching cable anyway. So it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So that's certainly, you know, something that you could maybe play around with to maybe pay a little bit less, but for me that works. Rental insurance, that went up like $2 since the last time. I believe I was paying $27 before. I'm paying about $29 now. I rounded off to about $30 per month, so that's pretty much the same as well. Now, something that I didn't have included in my budget the last time we talked was a car payment, and I'm gonna include it now. I did that in a blog. I'm also gonna link the blog that I did, but I included the car payment in my last cost of living blog post that I did, but I don't believe I had a car when I made the video about the cost of living in Regina. So car payments, my car payments are $555 a month. Like, I have a very high interest rate, like think new immigrant interest rate, and I got that shortly after I got here, which is like less than a year. So I did still have that payment, but you don't have to get a car payment. Some people choose to simply buy a car outright, so like a cheaper car, or you know, like an older car, something like that. But I had a reason for choosing to get a car payment. When you're new here, you need to build credit, and the one thing that you're always going to have against you as a new immigrant is a lack of history. So I knew that getting a credit card alone was not gonna cut it. I'm very aggressive in my financial approach, a little bit. So I knew that just having a credit card, or you know, a few credit cards, was not going to get me the strength I needed in my credit, and so I used my car payment as a tool for that. So not only does it add a different type of credits, because it is an installment, whereas the credit cards are revolving. I don't want to stray. Credit cards are revolving forms of credit, and the car payment is an installation. So diversifying the type of credit that you have is something that really helps your credit. So that is why I did that. That is something that you can, you know, think about. If you can, like, if you just don't want a payment, you don't want the payment. But I got a payment so that we could use it as a tool, and so far so good. It's worked its magic. But there are certainly cheaper options. I also did not want the headache that comes with an older car, because like Saskatchewan is Saskatchewan. I don't want to think about my car breaking down in the middle of winter or not starting in the winter. That is just something that, like, I'm from Jamaica. I don't need a headache. I don't need it. I don't need it. So a little bit of a stray there, but that was just to explain to you that a car payment is not a must. But Regina is a driving city, and so whether it is that you choose to have that car as a one-time expense and just set it and forget it, or you want to do a car loan, think about that expense. So the next car expense is auto insurance. Yay! So auto insurance, when I first got my car, within the first year, I believe insurance, like general insurance, was $140 per month. When I renewed, it was lower. I don't know why. But when I did, it was a little bit lower. It was $10 per month lower, so it's now $130. so that's what we pay. I also have like a roadside assistance for it's called CAA. What is that? That's about $150 for the year for that. So I come outside, my battery is dead, give them a call, boom bang bang, them come, them switch out the battery or tow it if it needs to be towed or whatever, and that's how much that costs. Now let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. Food I think is difficult. So when you talk about groceries, I think it's a little bit difficult to gauge what someone will spend on food. People's dietary needs are different. People's eating preferences are different. People's family sizes are different. People, like, the products that you find that you enjoy are different. For my family, I think we spend somewhere between, I want to say, $1,000 and $1,500 on food a month. And I think that would get us everything that, like, that would support us going to the supermarket, like going to Costco, as well as going to the supermarket, I don't know, maybe once every 2 weeks or once every week and a half. But $1,000 to $1,500, there's 3 of us, and I'm a picky eater. Plus I have certain restrictions, like I can't have dairy, I can't have canned foods, my husband doesn't eat fish, he doesn't eat pork. Do with that what you will. But yeah, so I think that $1,000 to $1,500 for a family of 3 is very reasonable in terms of getting groceries. You might have an energy bill, you might also have a water bill. I do not have those because they are included in my rent, so I don't have to pay them separately. But I think that that is something that you should consider depending on if you're renting your place, whether or not it includes those things. Phones. So I used to pay about $45 for my phone plan when I was the only one on it. My husband is here now, so together we pay about $110 per month for phone, and it's about 8 gigs each. Like I have 8 gigs and he has, or I have 8 gigs and he has 5, and we don't need more than that because a good portion of our time is spent at home. He works from home 100% of the time. I work from home a significant portion of the time, and you know, whenever, like, I don't run out of data because it's enough for us. So $110 is usually enough, and it replenishes every month. I should also mention we're not on phone plans or anything. Our phones are our phones, we own them, we came here with them. That's not true about phone, but whenever I buy phones, whenever we buy phones, we buy our phone. So we don't go on a phone plan where the cost of the phone is included or anything like that. It comes up to $3,940, and that does not include anything extra. So it doesn't include anything for like eating out, it doesn't include buying clothes, but it does include toiletries and things like that. It doesn't include anything. So if you're a family of 3 people, I think that if you have a combined income of $4,000, around that range, it'll be tight. Like I said too, I use the upper end of our food budget, which is like $1,500. So if you could bring that down significantly, then you could bring down your entire bill by a good amount as well. So let me know how that compares to the city that you are living in Canada, and you know, any tips and tricks that you might have and you might be able to share with us. So until the next video, I'll see you.